and began to fantasize about what might have been keeping him. Stroke? Brain aneurysm? Abducted by aliens? I mean, they do tend to take the dumbest people, after all.
My guy sucks. Want to trade guys for a little while?
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into r/StoriesAboutKevin. Oh, we are continuing Kevin in a big rig. It is Kevin. He's still in that big rig. I don't know why they have kept him around thus far, but it seems like OP is enacting his revenge, and he might actually get some. Conversely to Chris Trucker, where Mommy Honker Donkers is like still in the truck with this beardo, I do think that Strong Bad Jr. was able to escape the truck at some point. So I'm definitely hopeful to see how it all pans out, but there's only one way in which we can do that, and that is by diving into this story. So let's go ahead and do it. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this r/StoriesAboutKevin cringe. Also, we are live streaming this on Twitch. If you haven't checked that out quite yet, go ahead, links in the description. I'd love to see you. All right, let's do it. Kevin in a Big Rig, Part 7, Flashpoint. Oh my God. You know, Kevin bought like a big trench coat or something and he's naked underneath there. Oh, it's super gross. Maybe, I don't know. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Kevin in a Big Rig. Oh yeah, pleased to be here. Thank you so much for writing it up a year ago. As always, a big thank you to everyone who has followed the series this far, either on Reddit or through the YouTube channel ReddX. It says Karma Comic Chameleon, but I'm just gonna say ReddX from now on because that slaps a lot harder, doesn't it? It's less syllables. That's what it is. It's a time-saving device. You've been so generous with your support and encouragement and kindness, and I know I say this a lot, however, it never really feels like it's enough. Also, another big shout out to ReddX and the effort that ReddX dedicates to bringing these stories to a wider audience. I can't. The fact that someone would deem these stories worthy of such effort is gratifying beyond what words can express. Honestly, Rob from Karma Comic Chameleon, he's a really cool dude, okay? He's the one that encouraged me to get episodes up on the podcast services and stuff like that. That's why you can now find ReddX on Spotify, iTunes, wherever else. Those links also in the description. I'm not actually trying to avoid saying his name or dunk on him in any way, okay? I just think it's funny. I just throw in my radio edits. And so, what so many of you have been waiting for, let's go ahead. We'll get into Kevin in a Big Rig, Part 7, Flashpoint. Oh, that's such a cool name. Where'd you come up with all these cool names? Kevin in a Big Rig is back, and this time, it's personal. Backstory. These events take place over the span of a couple days immediately following the events in part number 6, Breakdown. Yeah, the events, you remember, the almost fucking dying and such. I do seem to recall something like that, yeah. The 3-day breakdown had forced dispatch to call in another truck to rescue the load. There they go, driving away with your payment. I had figured as much, since the load was considered high priority, and with an even more serious winter storm than what we faced in Nebraska bearing down on us, dispatch wanted to get that load to its destination as soon as possible. Bro, you almost took that high priority load like off the side of a mountain. This is so not good. I don't understand why Kevin's still working here. Do we have a big twist at the end like we do with Honker Donkers? God damn it. Give me a reason for this guy still having a job. So that left myself, Kevin, a repaired truck, an empty trailer, and precious little time before we became stranded again by Old Man Winter. Just fuck it, bro. I don't want to work this job anymore. I'm gonna lay down and just let the snow bury me. I don't want to play anymore. Not with you. Almost as soon as we got the truck out of the shop from Fuck's fiasco on Snoqualmie, dispatch sends us another load. It was to pick up in Lewiston, Idaho that same evening, and it was to be delivered in Chicago. Hey, we're not completely out of money. Let's drive. I was relieved, as this put us heading away from the storm, and with luck, it would keep us ahead of it. When I plotted the route, however, I was abruptly reminded that while the patron saint of truckers might protect those who call upon him, he also has a very morbid sense of humor. Who's the patron saint of truckers? The Poopy Coon Man? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's making sure that everybody can get out there. A quick bit of Google Foo has informed me that there is actually a patron saint of travelers, rather, but that includes truckers, and that is Saint Christopher. Sweet! Who knew? We're learning new things every day. So, Lewiston is a mountain town along the Washington-Idaho border. From where we began, it would take the better part of a day, traveling through remote areas with little chance of assistance if something were to happen. Or, if someone were to happen, like Kevin in a big rig. He said it. He said the name. And because I haven't suffered enough, the only way into Lewiston was south along US 95 and down another very steep mountain grade. Oh my God, dude. You are being tested 100%. Just be very grateful that Kevin hasn't screwed with the Jake brakes, because the mechanic in the last episode wouldn't tell him how. This was even worse than Snoqualmie. How bad? Well, if Snoqualmie was like a black diamond ski slope, Lewiston would be a triple black diamond, skull and crossbones level, and require a signed waiver of liability and clearance from a psychiatrist. Yeah, that ski resort psychiatrist. You know the one. He's not gonna sign off on me, probably. And just for kicks, Fuck would be the one that was driving us there. Upon realizing this, I texted my mom. I told her that I loved her and that I was probably going to be dead within the next few hours. She just thought that I was drunk. Who hasn't been there before, honestly? Yeah, I've given a couple of those text messages like, I just want you to know, thank you for bringing me into this world. Now I gotta take myself out. For the first few hours, I stayed in the bunk, trying to get what little sleep I could. Fuck's horrendous driving didn't help matters, and I was constantly being woken up by my head being slammed into a cabinet by his excessive braking. Oh, what a special little helper we got up there. I finally had to use my jacket as a makeshift cushion to keep my head from suffering a concussion. Maybe just sleep with your head against the cabinet so it doesn't have as far to travel before it slams into it, right? Maybe? I don't know. There's no winning in this situation. All I wanted was a nap, and all I got was head trauma. The truck drove on and on and on, and sleep, when it came, was fitful and fleeting. The jarring of the brakes and the whine of over-revving the engine told of an impending fate so terrifying as to make Edgar Allan Poe wet the bed and make Stephen King buy a nightlight. A nightlight filled with cocaine. You don't need a nightlight if you never sleep, right? Good job, Stephen King. It's probably a low blow. I'm sure his drug problems are behind him by now, right? Right? Then I go look at his Twitter. I'm like, never mind. As the sky grew dark and the cold air began to bite, I decided that I had slept as much as I could, pulled on my boots, and I went up front. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna die, you might as well witness it, right? I want to be looking out the front window when we crash, not have it come out of nowhere. And indeed, OP looks out the windshield and saw what he had been dreading, the warning sign for the steep drop into Lewiston. Deep breath, deep breath. It was so eventful in the last episode, I had like literal anxiety reading it, so I'm not eager for this. The highway on which we made the descent was also the town's main thoroughfare. Fall off the cliff, roll into town. Yeah, what a shortcut. There you go. That's all you need to do. Any loss of control here, and a lot of people besides us would more than likely be killed. Jesus Christ. High stakes indeed. I just hoped that if I did die that night, that it was quick and painless, and that Kevin would join me so I could beat his stupid ass for all of eternity. I hope everybody out there is fuckled in. Double fasten those seatbelts, because again, I think this is going to be a nail-biting journey to the bottom of this hill. So he started down the grade, picking up speed too fast at first, but thanks to being empty, speed control was much easier. Oh good, maybe we're not gonna die after all. Maybe. Still adamantly opposed to engine brakes, he maintained his speed through downshifting and heavy braking, much like he had attempted to do on Snoqualmie. When he finally managed to stabilize his speed, I lit a cigarette, because I think all people doomed to die deserve one last smoke. But no smoke, though, is bad for you. Although it does sound like a way to go. Be like, okay, this'll calm my nerves, so really it just makes you feel fuzzy all over the place. But luckily, it wasn't OP's last smoke, and it wasn't OP's last day on Earth. Despite everything, Kevin managed to get the truck down the mountain and into the town without ending our journey in a fiery crash. I'm shocked. He didn't even blow the engine up? How did this happen? He went down a triple black, probably because he had no load behind him. But yeah, great job, Kevin. Maybe we're learning some stuff. Maybe. I let out a breath that I didn't even realize I was holding and took a long drag of my cigarette to calm my nerves. We were safe, at least for the time being. This is not the end of the journey. We've still got many journeys with Kevin to go, I'm sure. We won't be truly safe until it's all over. So Fuck manages to get us to the pickup, after getting lost, of course. And we change out while we're getting loaded. I sit down in the driver's seat and program the route into my GPS. Getting back to the interstate was going to be tougher, as I saw a lot more remote wilderness and mountainous terrain and very little chance of help in an emergency. Wait, are you driving, or is he still driving even after the load's been picked up? Because I would be like, hey man, just go take a break, that's okay. And of course, adding to all of this difficulty was the fact that the storm that we were desperately trying to outrun was now catching up to us. Fortunately, it wasn't long before we got fully loaded and head to a local truck stop to top off the tanks, since it was nearly 150 miles to the next nearest truck stop. I refuel the truck while Kevin goes inside the store. He's just get some snacks or something. This is all totally normal. Although if it is totally normal, then why does it bear mentioning? After several minutes, both fuel tanks filled and Fuck still doing God knows what, I pull the truck out of the fuel pumps and pull around to the parking area. I dash inside, grab some food and drinks and smokes, and come back to the truck to find that Kevin still isn't back yet. Oh, he discovered the meth and the lot lizards. He's gone. Write him off. This is over. I began to fantasize about what might have been keeping him. Stroke? Brain aneurysm? Abducted by aliens? I mean, they do tend to take the dumbest people, after all.
My guy sucks. Want to trade guys for a little while?
Tell me how you really feel about aliens, OP. But alas, the hope was fleeting, as I soon see him hobbling his way across the parking lot towards the truck, carrying a plastic bag, and looking like a hobo about to ask for $1. He opens the passenger door and clams inside. Hey, motherfucker! He yelled angrily. Why'd you move the truck? Okay, first of all, turn it down about 10 notches. See, because if he turns up, then you gotta turn up. That's the social contract. Engaged! I point at the all trucks proceed to parking when fueling complete signs that are hanging near the diesel pump. And I reply, because I can read, dickhead. You know I have a bad leg. It hurts to walk that far. Do that again, and I'll kick your ass, he threatens weakly. Kick my ass with your gimpy leg? Nah, bro. You're about to get fucking twisted up like a pretzel, tossed out the door. Your mouth's writing checks that your ass cannot cash, all right? I'd like to see you try. Do it. Do it. I'll let you have the first swing. Do it. See what I mean? I'm already turned up to 11. If you recall, in part 2, I mentioned that I was at least 1 foot taller and like 100 pounds heavier than Fuck, so his threat was really more comical than menacing. Yeah, but still, don't take no guff, all right? Oh, really? I reply. You wouldn't lift a foot above my knees before I rip that gimp leg off and beat you to death with it. Sit the fuck down and shut up. There you go. There's some of that heat. Boom, spicy. Good job, OP. Can't let people get away with talking shit like that. He mumbled something, but I didn't hear him as I released the brakes to pull out of the parking lot. Oh, good. OP's driving now. We're all safe for the time being. The climb up the mountain was slow and painstaking. Snow was just starting to fall, but not yet heavy enough to be a serious concern. Kevin was riding shotgun and grumbling about his leg and the cold and whatever the hell else he felt like complaining about. I get to the top of the hill and press on, trying like hell to stay in front of the storm. How fast could a 18-wheeler go? I assume they could go pretty quick, but it's hard to break, right? Fuck remained up front, though he had moved past griping and onto bragging about his future plans. Oh yes, what a bright future you have. Apparently he had high aspirations for his trucking career. In a few months, he was gonna become the lead driver, the title that the company gave to driver trainers. There's a terrifying thought. And he would work as students like a racial slur. His words, not mine. Yeah, I would never put those words into your mouth, OP. Jesus, Kevin. How much of a piece of shit could you possibly be? We're slowly finding out more and more. I can't believe there was one story where I actually felt bad for this fucking guy. I take it all back. I take every bit of it back. I hope he crashes by himself, not with OP in the truck, okay? Let's be very specific about that. He also planned on becoming an independent contractor by leasing a truck through the company and making a lot more money. This would allow him to run a little side business with his nephew, who, according to Kevin, was some major player in prison chapter of the Aryan Brotherhood. He claimed that his nephew could set him up running contraband out of Mexico. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, okay. That sounds like a great career path. I paid very little attention to him, as I was most concerned about the winter storm that was almost on top of us. Maybe the brain damage affects him like way more than I thought. He's like, yeah, I want to run contraband out of Mexico for the Aryan Brotherhood. This is my 40-year plan. Like, bro, you're not going to make it 5 doing shit like that. Are you kidding me? No. Especially in a big rig. Like, how much contraband could you possibly haul through the border in a big rig? Jesus Christ. He's even dumber than he looks. We start going down a hill then. Nothing serious, but enough that I take my foot off the accelerator. I never trust cruise control in a semi. And this causes the engine brakes to engage. And on cue, Kevin takes it personally. If you were my student, he said, trying to sound pretentious, I'd fail you for that. That's why you're not a teacher, stupid. What the fuck ever, man. At least I could go 5 minutes without getting lost, I reply, not missing a beat. I really like how they're just like openly fighting each other right now. This is my favorite part. There's no nicey nice, no mask or anything like that. They're just like, you know what? I've had enough of your shit and I'm gonna let you know. Don't use those things on my truck, he demands. I'm not, dumbass, I shoot back. This is the company truck, remember? I don't understand. It seems so weird to me that these truckers get so territorial about a truck that they don't even own. They're like, I use it all the time, so that means it's mine. It's like, no. Did you put any money on it, or did the company say, here, you drive this truck now? We've seen this with Chris Trucker as well, and yeah, Kevin in a big rig, keeping the dream alive that one day he'll have a truck of his very own if he just calls this company truck his enough times. What the hell? Just then we start down another hill. This one a bit longer, but not overly steep. Again, I release the accelerator and the engine brakes re-engage. This was apparently the last straw for Kevin. He reaches down, unbuckles his seatbelt, and reaches over towards the steering wheel. Are you fucking kidding me? Jack him in the jaw. This is like a life-threatening situation. The activation button for the engine brakes is on the right side of the steering wheel. I see his hand, and I slap it away. Cut it out, dickhead, I tell him. He tries it again, but this time getting out of his seat and towering over me while reaching for the engine brake button. This is extremely dangerous, as it is dark, we're on a narrow road, and visibility is reduced because of the snow. I don't have the luxury of handling this diplomatically, so I grab him by the shirt with my right hand and literally throw him back into the passenger seat, hard enough that his head bounces off the window. I guess that's slightly better than jacking him in the jaw, but he's still awake. If you hit him right on the button, boop, then he goes night-night for at least a couple minutes. You can get off the mountain safely. But yeah, then maybe you get in trouble with the company or some such like that. If you ever pull a stunt like that again, I tell him, I will break every bone in your body and leave you for the buzzards. You're not a lead driver. This is not your truck. Sit down, buckle up, and shut up. Kevin obviously hadn't expected that reaction. Apparently he was living in some sort of fantasy universe where he was the trainer and I was the student. He really does have to have some delusions of grandeur in order to just, keep his ego afloat. I don't know what exactly the hell is going on here, but it is a rather untenable situation. We can't have this happen for extended periods. I suppose that knock to his head was enough to bring him back to reality, or as close to reality as Kevin could get. since he did buckle his seatbelt and went about copying the company route to his precious little notebook. Well, that settled him down some, didn't it? It seems all he understands is violence, and if I have to beat the living shit out of you every day to make you behave and let me do my job, then that's what's going to happen. And eventually he'll quit or I'll get fired, and guess what? That's just fine too, because life carries on no matter what. A couple of hours passed in silence, blessed silence. The snow begins to fall heavier and accumulate on the ground and stick to the road. The wind had begun to pick up and the truck was now rocking side to side. It felt like an eternity since we had seen the last town or car or even just an abandoned building. I had just started to begin thinking that maybe we hadn't survived the downgrade into Lewiston and that now I was just existing in my own personal hell. What have you done in your life to deserve this, OP? Please, a just God would not make this happen. When far in the distance, I see the lights of a town. I check the GPS, and sure enough, it's exactly where we're about to rejoin Interstate 90. Yes, we made it! Maybe. I was less excited about being on the interstate as I was about the prospect of finding shelter from this approaching storm. As we make our way through town, I keep my eyes peeled for a truck stop, a Walmart, a gas station, anything that might offer a safe harbor for the night. But to my increasing dismay, there was nothing. Oh boy, you gonna sit through the snowstorm again? Didn't we learn our lesson last time when we almost froze to death? To make matters even worse, the town appeared to be deserted. Even the 24-hour convenience stores were dark and empty. Maybe this is hell. I don't know what's going on, dude. Suddenly, a few miles before reaching the interchange, a message comes across the computer. Fuck takes the computer and reads it out loud. "It's a weather alert," he says. "It says we have to shut down." Of course, I say, still looking for somewhere to park and finding nothing. Keep an eye out for a truck parking spot. Well, we get closer to the interstate and find nothing. Even the gas stations with diesel truck lanes are clearly posted no truck parking. My only alternative is to get back on the interstate and keep going until I find somewhere to shut down. Can they do that? I'm like the type of dude who would just park next to it anyways and be like, oh, I didn't see the sign. It was dark and snowing. I didn't see the goddamn sign, all right? I needed somewhere to shut down. You got to ticket me? All right, the company's going to pay for that. That's fine. I'll admit that this is the last thing that I wanted to do, but my hands were kind of tied. Kevin, however, simply could not understand the situation. Yeah. That seems to be a theme. He rarely ever does. Why are you going on the interstate? He asked. Safety told us to shut down. Yeah, but there's nowhere to shut down, I replied. You have to stop, he insists. Safety will write you up. Oh my God, dude. Just stop where you are. That's what safety meant. In the middle of the street while it's snowing, just drop everything. Are you fucking kidding me? And OP says, where? On the side of a city highway? Do you really think that's a good idea, jackass? Looking back, I now see how ironic this question was. I think it's less ironic and more like completely accurate. Considering how many times he's done this before, parking in a freeway and whatnot. Kevin gave up, apparently being thrown bodily against the window one-handed somewhat takes away your nerve. Well, if safety says anything, that's on you, he says. I'm fine with that. And I'll tell them the same thing that I'm telling you. You can't just stop in the middle of the fucking road. I'm pretty sure safety is full of Kevins as well. They could be like, yeah, we sent the message. Why didn't you stop? I take the on-ramp to the Interstate 90 eastbound. I keep my speed at around 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour for those that aren't in America. Since knowing we shouldn't be out here according to safety, I can at least use the fact that I was driving at a greatly reduced speed to say, yeah, I know we should be shut down, but there's nowhere to shut down, so I have to keep going until I find a place to shut down. I plod along Interstate 90 through the Idaho Panhandle and just find nowhere to park. Well, that's unfortunate. What are the rules in this state? Are they just gonna force you to stop in the middle of nowhere? There's probably a good reason that they told you to stop driving. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I would assume that the truck needs something to block it from the wind so it doesn't get blown over or some shit like that, right? Is that how trucks work? I don't actually know. The truck computer is just going crazy, dinging every few minutes with messages wanting to know why we are traveling through a shutdown area. I can't reply since I'm driving, and Kevin is content to just let me deal with it. Oh, some co-pilot. Come on, man. At least, like, dictate a response to him, okay? Kevin, write this down, all right? Treat him like your big, fat, ugly secretary. I drive well into Montana before I see salvation. Jesus Christ. A truck safety rest area. It's little more than a super wide shoulder on the side of the highway, but it's reasonably safe, legal for us to use, and most importantly, it has room for us to get into. I guide the truck into a parking spot, shut off the headlights, and pick up the computer. I put myself off duty and go about responding to the messages. All but one are automated messages about the shutdown notice and the fact that we are operating in a shutdown area. The one non-automated message is from the night dispatcher. You're operating inside a shutdown area. Please shut down as soon as possible, the message stated. Yeah, what the hell do you think I was planning, dickhead? I say to the screen. And I reply, could not find safe and legal parking area when alert received. Was forced to continue on until a safe and legal parking area could be found. We are now shut down. Honestly, Kevin probably would have just pulled it off to the shoulder of the road, stopped in the middle of the lane, been like, oh, they said to stop. I think that's a little bit worse than driving to Montana. Driving to Montana seems pretty crazy too, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. And now we're in for another cold night, ladies and gentlemen. Bundle up. Intentionally, I use the words safe and legal in my reply because according to the company's own driver handbook, a truck that receives a weather shutdown notice must, quote, find a safe and legal place to shut down until the notice is lifted. That was their own policy verbatim, and I was just following it. Safe and legal. I decided to go back to the bunk and sleep because it was pretty obvious that we were going nowhere until at least the morning. The next morning, I'm awakened by the sound of the truck brakes releasing. Uh-oh, here we go again. I jump out of my bunk and I check the computer. Safety had released the shutdown and implemented a 45-mile-per-hour limit for the area. Fuck took it upon himself to take the first shift, so whatever. I crawled back into the bunk. You don't want to die in your sleep, do you, OP? Stand up, look out the front window as you crash. Die like a man. A couple of hours later, I'm woken up by my phone ringing. I check it. Unknown number, but the area code matches the company's headquarters, so I answer. Hello? I answered. Hi, is this OP? Driver ID 9876, replied the voice. Yeah. This is Ken, not his real name, from safety. This call is being recorded. We had a report that you willfully violated a mandatory shutdown area last night. Son of a bitch. Kevin tried to turn me in to safety after the stunt that he pulled with the engine brakes. Well, Ken, I reply, I suppose that depends on your definition of violated. Did you continue to drive after receiving a notice of the shutdown? Yes, I answered truthfully. Can you explain why? Bro, I told you. Everybody at this company is a fucking Kevin. His name's Ken, but the vibe is the same. Well, Ken, if you refer to the company driver handbook, such and such page, such and such paragraph, you will see that it clearly states that, and I quote, upon receiving a shutdown alert, the driver must park the truck as soon as it is safe and legal to do so, end quote. Now, as I told the night dispatcher, I was not in an area that provided safe and legal parking. Therefore, I was forced to continue until safe and legal parking could be found. However, I was well aware of the dangerous road and weather conditions and elected to proceed at a speed no faster than 45 miles per hour. And I shut down at the nearest safe and legal place available. For a few moments, Ken was quiet, but I heard the telltale tapping of a computer keyboard through the phone. I see. Well, looking at your route, I see there was very little in the way of parking or facilities. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, I think to myself. That was my assessment of the situation as well, I confirm. Like, you don't want to believe me? You put me out here on the road with thousands of dollars worth of equipment and you're not going to take my word for it? Fuck you, Ken. Every bureaucracy in the world can go ahead and eat a dick. This is just the worst thing ever. Hey, if I heard you forgot to put a cover sheet on your TPS reports. You know he's gonna get 5 more phone calls throughout the day. Like, obviously you can see the facilities that are near OP, so why even call me? Why don't you do your little bit of Googling and just fucking confirm what you heard before you bug me with all this shit, right? God, I'm getting a little heated. Get a little bit heated at this Ken fellow. I understand he's just doing his job, but he's not doing it well. That's my assessment of the situation. Well, Ken continued, we received this report from an anonymous phone call, and we had to follow it up. Yeah, anonymous my ass. Am I being written up for this? Not at this time, since, as you say, you were trying to get to a legal and safe parking area. We may look into this matter further at a later time. However, I would like to stress that you take care in the future. I managed to hide my rage when I responded, always do! Thanks! And hang up. Take care in the future. Fuck you, bro. Who are you? Enjoy your little desk job. And now to address that anonymous phone call. For a few moments, I stared at the bunk ceiling in furious disbelief. Anonymous phone call? Yeah, that was bullshit, since there was only one person who knew that I had driven at that time and who also would have made a phone call. Kevin, the rat fink bastard, had tried to grass me up on the sly. Only he made one critical mistake. He underestimated me. I knew the safety policy, apparently better than the fucking safety department themselves, and I probably just saved my job and career by doing so. No doubt that little shit thought he had won his little ass-kissing exhibition, and he would no doubt try again when he realized that it didn't work. But he would not get that chance. Oh no. Run that game on me, little man, and I will show you how it is supposed to be played. God, I love OP. When he gets all flamed up like that, ooh, it's so spicy. It's so good when it hits your lips. I open my phone's email app, go to the saved email draft that I had been preparing for so long. I attach the photos of the computer logs, double check for missing issues, add in about the incident where he tried to grab the steering wheel while I was fucking driving, and I plug in the email addresses of the relevant department heads. I also make one addition to the end of the email, letting them know that seeing as how the issue was habitual and ongoing, I would continue to provide daily updates via email on Kevin's infractions and unsafe actions. Heh, that rhymes. God damn. All Kevin did was make a phone call. Strong Bad Jr. has been playing this game for a while. It's time to start the spam deluge. Yes, I'm going to tell you about everything that Kevin does until you decide to do something about it. Why email, you wonder? Well, in the eyes of the law, an email is considered an official document. By using email, I could use it as proof that I communicated this issue to the company. If the situation progressed to the point where legal action became necessary, the emails could be used as evidence that the company was made aware of the issue but did nothing. That, my friends, is negligence. I knew it, and they should know it too, I thought. Well, they claim to put safety first, so let's see. Oh God, Kevin's gonna get buried, bro. You fuck with the wrong bull today, I'm gonna tell you that much. I gave the email a final once over. It's ready, I think. I move my thumb up to the send icon and freeze. For a moment, a tiny voice of doubt pipes up. Is this the right thing to do? You could put yourself in the firing line with this. Even if you do pull it off, it could ruin Kevin's life. Is what he did so bad to really be worth that? And for a moment, I almost did consider not going through with it. Just asked for a new co-driver but that thought was interrupted by my forehead banging off the cabinet again. Kevin and his piss poor driving. I think it's a bit strange that OP is like worrying for Kevin's livelihood when Kevin obviously doesn't worry for OP's livelihood. The quicker you get him off the road, the better, as far as I'm concerned. This was spurred by Retribution, but you started this whole thing way before Retribution ever crossed your mind. This is for the good of the company and everybody around Kevin, everybody on the road. So yes, absolutely do it. Never mind, I tell myself decisively, fuck this asshole, and I hit send. There you go. There was the slightest bit of regret when I saw the status of the email change from sending to sent. Oh well, too late now. No turning back, the missiles were in the air. Nothing left to do but wait. Honestly, he deserves the firebomb. This is the only way that he can learn. And that concludes part 7, Flashpoint. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for your kind support and encouragement over the past couple weeks. It means more to me than you will ever know. Also, if you haven't been listening to YouTube channel ReddX does an excellent job retelling these stories and is well worth your time. I hope to have part 8 posted later this week. Until then, my friends, remember, friends don't let friends become Kevins. God damn, ain't that the truth? Honestly, I would love to see Chris Trucker and First Kevin get teamed up together, and then Strong Bad Jr. and Honker Donkers can go, like, actually, you know, drive a truck. Have a decent partner, while First Kevin and Chris Trucker go flying off a cliff, Thelma and Louise style. Ain't that right? That problem might be very dangerous for a little while, but it's gonna sort itself out in pretty short order, okay? I hope they don't crash into other people. Just send them down a mountain pass. I know they're not gonna make it back. It seems evil, but also It is what it is. And on top of all that, I hope that you enjoyed the episode, friends. If you did, I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah! Maybe share the video around. We got all kinds of links down in the description. Plugs, playlist, podcast, you know what it do. We've also got my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Twitch, where we live stream this whole thing. We've also got channel members to thank. We've got patrons to thank, so I'm going to do that like I do every episode. So thank you, Jerry, much too. Darth Luscious, Harley Owen, Robert L. Waits, Camille Sarah, Chase the Blue Kraken, Roxanne Wolf, Sim, Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Captain Clown, Jerry, Aaron, Jerry, Esteban, Farrell, Langside, Game Steve, Beantown with a bag of models from downtown, Jerry, Bed for Forgiveness, Silent Revolver, PCB, Fluxer, a soldier of industry, the original Jerry, Destiny Piper, Jerry Kitsune, a very tired Jerry, I identify with that, Destiny Jargonia, Jerry, Assassin Punk, Jerry, Bang Bang, Aurora Wildheart, Baby Jerry, Bearded Jerry, Benji and the Jets, Bitch Gremlin, Blittlin, Jerry, Brown's Kraken, Catholic Jerry, Commander J Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dr. Larks, Aaron Era, Ace Bars, Frozen Number Studios, Fire Drake, Get to at the Doodles, Shameless Plug, Commissions Open, Adrian BR, I'm Slim Jerry, I'm the real Jerry, all you want the Slim Jerry's are just imitating, Inquisitor Jerry, Irish Pirate Jerry, got the stowaway Jerry, and now to see if he chooses the plank or the press gang. All Jerrys will join the Jerry gang. Iron Hollow, Irradiated Jam, JM Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Down Love of the Jungle, Hong Kong, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmitz, Crowley, Cuddly Dragon, Legit Maker, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, Luca was a clever Patreon name. Yeah, it was. Like and subscribe, Milady Nix, the last Jerry Bender. I have anxiety. Malawa Man, Marble, just Marble, Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Theft, Needless King, Paragon Soul, Fate of the Pines, Princess Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Queen Sway, Lucifer Quagmires, Red Tide Lackermans, Rose Jerry Miller, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Scarlet Kevin, Sergeant Gay Cop, Bringer of the Law, Silo Whip, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomago, Tabby, Blue Tato Fair, the Gypsy Barber, the Italian Greyhound Dino, the Little Sue, the One True Fusky, trying to find another ball to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow into that balloon, not. It's a sticky balloon. Victory Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, Wiki Tax, Stephen the Gargoyle or Clay, Conan Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is no. Redwind, Nog Viper, Safe Listening, Venom Jerry, Wasabi Jerry, Jace Christensen, One Leg Jerry, the Neckbeard Hunter, a normal Jerry, holds up a giant bag of popcorn, brought my own snacks, and I'll share. Give me some of that. Emerald T-Tank, Emerald Alder, Atomic Jerry, Zilla Breaker of the Tar Army, Bartender Kirlia, Blueberry and Apple Pie, Broken Spine Horseradish, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Lock, Chicago Panda, Cody Lightyear, Buzz's less interesting cousin in accounting, Corey does art sometimes, Cryptides, the Fog Jerry, Death Tuna, Dopamine Dane, Jerry is Dwarfy Dude, Ghost about the He Cannot, Inside You are two wolves, one is cringe, the other is cringe, you are cringe. Jerry's roaming the streets of Finland, hunting down the Rito headband, Jeffrey, Geraldo, Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year, We're the Apocalypse, Jerry Springer, the results are in, you are not the Neckbeard, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom's got it going on, Jerry Alder Rivera, Jerry Rockstars, Keaton Tails, Kid Marvelous, Lucia Lovecraft, Machia CD, maybe next time, Milk Fed Gimp, Miss Not Visible Angel, Raptor, Cheese My Jerry Pie, Sky Barrow, Ravenswood, Snary, that's Snom Jerry, Snowbeard, what is best in life, to crush these tendies, to cheat the tabletop, to hear the elations of your waifus. Oh no! It's gone terribly wrong. Spooky the Rogue, Spoopy Scabby, Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, he's not. There are two wolves inside me. Spit roasted Jerry. Oh god! To infinite Jerry and beyond! Unkale, throws 2 liter Mountain Dew, grow my neckbeard, grow! It's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher. Hygiene, it's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher. Humility! And thank you to my $1 patrons as well. Channel members, yes! We got Train Boy, Liquorless Loser, Origami Steve, Malama Man, Skylar May Amara, the Gypsy Barber, Fire Drake, Samantha, Death's Flagship, Bearded Snake, and buy 2, get 1 hand. Bless up to the Jerrys and not Jerrys alike! You guys doing the most out here, keeping the channel afloat. If you can afford to contribute, that's absolutely huge. If you can't afford to do it, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoyed today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Okay? Promise? Swearsies? Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, my friends, bye-bye.